Okay, we've got a couple more parts to go before we head to Novaria. Part of the reason is that I actually did want to pay the Citadel a visit before I lock myself out of going back there freely. But we've got a couple side quest planets to go through in this part. One of them is the final planet for the Geth hunting down quest thing.
So 3 more parts of back and forth.
No, no. The next two planets are actually really goddamn easy. What happens at the end of this Geth hunt quest is that once you go to all 4 planets, a 5th planet opens up that has the main Geth base on it, and you have to go and deal with that. But the main Geth base is a freaking joke. So yeah. Whew. Oh, I've always wanted some cobalt.
What can you even use that for?
Am I mispronouncing another word? Because I do that a lot.
That's
it's cobalt.
No, that sounds weird. Cobalt is right.
No. I said it was cobalt.
No, I'm pretty sure. Never mind. Whatever.
Whatever.
I'm more referencing the fact that I always wind up saying a word the way it reads when I read it, and then people in the comments say that I'm saying it weird. And they're usually right.
It's kind of one of those things, like when you played Pokemon as a kid, and then when you watched the anime and you found out that Gyarados is pronounced Gyarados instead of Gyarados, or something like that.
Rayquaza.
Gyarados. It reads like Gyarados.
As a kid, I always read it as Gyarados.
No, it's like, where do you get Gyarados out of that? There's no A.
Or Kyogre. I don't know how I ever figured out how to pronounce him. It was like, I think I might have said like Kyogre or okay, Shepherd.
Well, it spells like it starts with Kyo, but it's actually Kai-O. It is weird.
Shepherd. Oh my. Okay, you know what? When we get to the other Mass Effect games, I know that people hate that car, but I'm gonna really miss that car because I love it. Watching it has been my favorite part of this entire playthrough.
Oh man,
it has its charm. I'm glad Andromeda is going to have some exploration with a vehicle.
Oh, like I don't care, like gameplay wise, like I can take or leave that. I just love how goofy it drives.
Well, they did do the smart thing and get the Need for Speed team on to actually get that car controls sorted out this time. So yeah. Oh man.
So
haven't we been in here before?
Oh, probably.
We've been everywhere before.
I don't know what you're talking about. The last 5 buildings didn't have a potted plant in that exact location. Oh, man. Maybe Shepard is really just one of those people who needs everything to be in exactly the same place to recognize the room he's in. So,
what I actually am going to choose to believe is that the crew eventually got really tired of going on all these side quests, so they just landed on the same planets over and over again and told Shepard that they were somewhere else.
They rearranged the furniture inside the building is what I was getting at, yeah.
Yeah.
They rearranged the building to fuck with her. And she didn't notice.
Petty.
They just shipped in a bunch of husks from a planet that the Geth had already destroyed. And yeah, this is our simulation for today. Enjoy.
Ah, the simulation theory.
Shepard, give me a hug.
Oh, that's
I want your autograph. Oh.
I don't know why I felt the need to fire a carnage into a bunch of husks that would have died anyway. Yeah, we've been attacked from outside. Like the moment you destroy the last husk, suddenly a bunch of Geth storm the base.
Isn't this supposed to be their main headquarters? Why isn't anyone home?
No, it was a trap. They knew we were coming.
Oh, okay.
If only Akbar were here, he could have told us.
They vacated, left a bunch of husks in for us to fight, and then while we were busy with them, they came in from behind us.
That's actually rather dastardly. And we fell for that? man, we're idiots.
Like, as far as tactics in war go, the Geth are like the only faction in this entire game who are programmed in the game to act in a way that gives them a sense of actually fighting with their heads.
As you mercilessly destroy them all.
Yep. Well, they're robots. They'll live. They just need to upload themselves into another
Or were
one.
they ever alive at all?
Robot theory.
Well, that one's not a theory. They just are actually robots.
Wait, robot theory. What am I thinking of?
The first
Where
rule
everybody's
is the
actually a
first rule
robot.
is that a robot can't harm
Yeah,
a human.
there is mob rules.
No. Where everything's a robot. Where everyone's a robot.
Oh, I know
No,
exactly
no,
what
no,
you're
I'm thinking
talking
of
about. You're thinking about the theory where if we could ever essentially create a version of The Sims that functioned like real life, then we are probably also a computer simulation.
No, but wasn't there a movie that was just recently made into a television series where everybody's actually a robot? Like it's an attraction there.
Westworld?
I know the Westworld. There you go. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, man. Yeah, that kind of reminds me of the plot twist in Xenoblade X.
Is it plot twist that everyone's a robot?
Yeah, actually, it is. That's why their eyes are so weird.
That explains why their acting is so wooden.
Sorry, audience.
Yeah, that was just kind of put out there.
Oops. I'll add a text. I'll add a text spoiler warning.
No, just beep yourself out.
What, Gordon
didn't get
Ramsay
too far
joined
in
us
the
as a
game.
temporary
It's
guest?
like, why you like to say he beeped that? Yeah, I mean, to be fair, he's right. If you're this far into the Mass Effect commentary, I don't think you care.
Yeah, if you're this far into the Mass Effect commentary, you better be expecting spoilers from a completely unrelated franchise.
Well, it is us.
I'll put in a warning, don't worry.
No, just beep it out. People guess. It's like, oh, what are they fucking?
No, edit it out with not with an equally famous but overly well known spoiler.
To correct the answer to the last question, no, that was actually not their main base. That was
okay.
a facility they took over. Once you've taken out all 4 planets, you find out that there's a 5th base on Sulcrum, and Sulcrum is actually another pretty planet to drive around on, actually. But you go here and you go into another building, you take out the Geth, and then you're able to salvage some data from their computer systems, and that's what you get for Tally. Sulcrum is not actually the planet, it's the moon. So you need to go to that little pinprick beside the planet there and pick that.
We're getting all Return of the Jedi up in here.
Endor only wishes it was this nice looking. But it kind of be hard to find an on-location place for a moon that looked like this.
I don't know. I like the California redwood forest look.
Oh, it was nice and exotic looking, but well, this is a moon that glows blue with fire. So yeah.
It was all fun and games until a whole bunch of furry animals tear you apart.
Not just you, the galaxy's most well-trained soldiers. All right.
Oh, please. We all know that stormtroopers couldn't hit shit.
The only reason that people don't take stormtroopers seriously anymore is because of the Battle of Endor. They could kind of do stuff before that.
The Battle of Endor made a lot more sense when it was the planet of the Wookiees.
Yeah.
Ugh. They sort of recycled that in The Force Unleashed, I think.
I thought by the time The Force Unleashed came out, didn't Episode 3 already come out and Kashyyyk was their planet?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Kashyyyk was always their planet.
Yeah, Kashyyyk's been around since the holiday special.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn.
Yeah,
Life Day!
Life Day and all. Yeah, it's a planet that was in expanded universe lore and stuff before that. There's a lot of stuff that gets recycled from old concepts in Star Wars, though. Like, Mustafar was Darth Vader's castle planet in Empire Strikes Back concept that was scrapped, and then they made it his castle planet in Rogue One.
Why would he want to hang out there, though? Is a question I'm
Because
asking.
he's looking out over the site of his defeat, and using his
Brooding.
anger, dark side.
You could
dark
say
side.
he was born there.
something dark side. There's a video on it. It's interesting, or at least they make it sound interesting.
I did think it was cool that they did put him there, though, and like I was actually kind of surprised that they brought the guy who played Ortega from the prequels in for Rogue One, actually, to be Leia's dad there. Like, that was also
Oh,
another thing.
Jimmy Smits.
Yeah, I'm glad that they...
He wanted to be in a good Star Wars movie.
Episode 3 is a good movie. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah, Episode 3 is fine. It's serviceable as an enjoyable movie. It just sort of dips into the same lows as the other prequels on occasion.
The acting, it's a fun action movie. The acting's not very good. Like, I'm not gonna...
The dialogue acting is not very good.
Yeah, so... But, I have fun watching it, which is the most important thing to me, so... Yeah.
It's enjoyable enough. Yeah. It's the prequel you're most likely to actually like, in any case.
Or at least like the majority of it, as opposed to like 2 scenes. Or none of it at all.
I just imagine Commander Shepard and his crew having this exact conversation in the tank while they whittle
I don't
down
know,
the
man.
Geth.
I think Phantom Menace gets way too much crap. Garrus, shut up.
But you know what? My favorite episode of the Star Wars series is Star Wars Episode 26. Because they finally got Rey right in that one.
Yeah, but bringing back Yoda was such an unneeded nostalgia grab, though. And I mean, come on. Wookiees have brown fur. Everybody knows that.
Yoda just wasn't the same after Frank Oz died.
Dude, don't make me think about Frank Oz dying, because he's actually really old, so that's gonna happen.
Hey, I'm role playing a conversation that happens in 2183. All right, he is dead.
Oh no, we kind of blurred the realms of reality and fiction there for a second.
Yeah, but when he started using his Miss Piggy voice for Yoda, then things got weird.
Oh man,
Does Frank Oz still do Miss Piggy?
I think so.
Because I know that after Jim Henson died, they got new people for like Ralph and Kermit and all that, but I don't know if they have Frank Oz still do Miss Piggy. You know what? That's gonna bother me. I'm gonna look it up right now.
oh man. What we need is Yoda, a Star Wars story, a movie about like 20.
We did. It was called Soul Calibur 4.
21-year-old Yoda. Yoda as a Padawan. Yoda's a
That cheat
rebellious
motherfucker.
teenager. We need to see what Yoda
Okay,
was
so
like
My man knows.
when he was a whiny little kid. That's what we need. That's what Star Wars needs.
So as far as I can tell, he stopped doing Frank Oz stopped doing Miss Piggy around the late 90s. So they probably have somebody else doing it by this point.
Gotcha.
Oh well, no big deal.
Shame, I was hoping for another Muppets, like, crossover thing where he can talk to himself.
God, the Geth Destroyer is charging at me.
Use the Force, Shepard.
You know what's great about having Tally in a fight with Geth? They can be hacked. But you know what the funny thing about hacking a Geth Destroyer who's charging at you is? For some reason, its AI routine will continue to do the charging thing at the target that it had already decided to charge on. So it's hacked, but it's also still attacking.
See, he used the Force and it worked.
The thing about hacking, about AI hacking, is it turns synthetic enemies into your allies temporarily. It's basically a mind control spell. It's so much more reliable in Mass Effect 2 and 3, though.
How can it be a mind control spell if they're machines?
Well, functionally, basically.
Functionally, that's what it does, but it's a hacking. It's like it temporarily reprograms the Geth to do something that isn't what they were meant to do.
So we turn them into K2.
For about 30 seconds.
Do they become as sassy as K2 for 30 seconds?
Now, when the last Geth dies, a Quarian stands before a hushed crowd on a television, warbling a mournful capella, blah, blah, blah. So they have a Quarian funeral dirge as their "we just all got killed" signal. Okay?
Wait, so it literally played a victory jingle for you?
Yeah, but
Da
the
da 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 da.
yeah, but the victory jingle is instead dun 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 dun, dun, which is a little bit unsatisfying.
It's like if you win a boss battle in Final Fantasy, and it plays the game over theme.
What did I do?
Anyway, yeah, we got the data from the console, and that's that. We are done here.
Wait,
Although,
we were on a moon and you got a harpoon. Are we whalers?
yeah, by the way, the second floor balcony, if it's even in that building, has nothing on it. So, yeah, don't waste your time. And yeah, after you get this data, she asks you for it. So it's not like with Garrus and Rex where she goes off on a tangent about something she needs and you go get it. It's more like you happen to get this Geth data in one of the missions you do, and Tally's like, okay, I would really appreciate it if you gave me a copy, because that would be helpful.
Does saying no do anything other than make you be an asshole?
I don't know. I've never done it.
Nothing really changes.
There's no logical reason to deny Tally this. It's not like you're giving intel to the Shadow Broker on something that's sensitive to the human species.
Yeah, you're just kind of being a dick.
Yeah, passing this along is like basically just it's giving the Quarians intel on one of their military enemies, who also happens to be your military enemy. And
So there's no reason not to give it to her.
yeah, and there's no disadvantage to the human race in doing this. It actually, might actually prove to be a boon someday. But yeah.
Yeah, there's no consequence. Like, even in Mass Effect 2, if you denied her in Part 1, she'll still be writing in her diary about how great Commander Shepard is, and she'll want to join up with you, so she doesn't care.
She'll still have a crush on you if you're a male, Shepard. Yeah. Unfortunately, the Mass Effect save file imports doesn't have every single little variable in it. It just has certain plot flags. And
Well, that does make sense because it's just not efficient to list every single choice, especially if so many of them don't really matter.
yeah.
Like it makes more sense to just bring in like your total renegade, paragon, total, and specific key choices.
It's kind of like playing The Walking Dead or a Telltale game. You know that notice that'll pop up on screen and it'll say such and such character will remember that at certain specific points in a cutscene. It's like that, except the notice doesn't pop up.
Zombies banging. Clem will remember that.